Hey there, this is CC from Generation Wellness Global, and today I wanted to talk about weight loss. If you have weight that you're struggling to shift and why that might come about. So this is not an absolute synopsis on all things, but it is some things to think about with regard to emotional and spiritual components of weight issues if you're struggling to lose weight. So I wanted to go in a little bit about why that might happen and how weight serves a purpose. So from the physical perspective, weight fat is actually really protective. So if we are overloaded with, and many of us are, we all are, environmental toxins, even there's synthetic fragrances in a lot of personal care products. There's lots and lots, thousands of lab-made chemicals are now used in all sorts of products that are around us, put on in our personal care products, in our food, all sorts of things. So what happens is, partly, I've talked before about the lymphatics. The lymphatics are really important to help the body detox. I'm going like this because it's a flow thing. It's a, excuse me, it's part of the circulatory system that needs to be able to flow of its own accord because there isn't a pump like the heart to move it around. And so it gets really stagnant and sluggish in a lot of people. And there are absolutely ways to help get that moving. There are herbs that you could look into. I've talked before about eating a lot of fruit to alkalize and try and just have things that are really light and get things moving. There are essential oils that you can use. You could look up acupressure points and apply the essential oils to those pressure points. So one is the sternum. The other is down the side of the legs. I used to be really tender down the side of the legs because I had really terrible lymphatic flow. But things like cypress, the doTERRA Aroma Touch is beautiful for supporting circulation of any kind. And so that's a really beautiful one. It used to be called the Massage Blend. I'm not sure what its generic name is now, but because it's beautiful to use in a massage and get things just flowing. And then you'd want things like grapefruit or lemon or tangerine. You can take those in water. I'm only saying this with doTERRA. I do not suggest that you take other. We don't want to add to the synthetic toxin burden. So you don't want to go and get a cheaper brand. You want something that's real, pure essential oils. If you're going to take, if you're going to use in any respect, internally, externally, it all absorbs into your body. So I highly recommend, if you want to know more about oils or you need to get some, please get in touch and I'll help you with that. So it's really important to get the lymphatic system working, but fat actually serves a purpose. So it's protecting us from those toxins. So if our body can't get them out, we have to make sure they're not damaging vital organs. And so quite often what happens is these chemicals, these toxins get shunted around the body and the liver's like, I don't know what to do with it. It's synthetic. It's not something I know how to process. It gets sent to the liver, to the kidneys. The kidneys are like, I can't filter it. I don't know what to do here. And it kind of gets shunted around. So in order to stop it damaging all of those organs, our body is very clever and it separates it off and surrounds it in a nice layer of fat and keeps it safe away from vital organs. So I actually have a friend who lost, now I can't remember if it was 8 or 12 kilos. It's more than a stone for those that are playing in America. It's a lot of weight. And that was purely by removing chemical cleaning products from her home. She went to essential oils, homemade recipes, which I am happy to supply. So she just removed any chemical cleaning products with fragrances, anything that wasn't natural. Took out any personal care products that weren't natural and just shed weight So her body was actually trying to protect her from the synthetic chemicals that were just around her in her environment that she was using for cleaning or personal care and so forth. So that's a really powerful example of how our body, if we give it what it needs and take away some of the things that it doesn't need, the things that are sort of burdening and making our body toxic, we can really quickly repair and come back into a balance. So she lost that really quickly just from removing. She didn't change her diet, she didn't change her exercise regime, nothing else changed, just removing synthetic chemicals from her cleaning products and personal care. So, and we have loads of recipes if you want to DIY some. They're so simple, honestly. I'm not a fan of complicating anything, as you probably guessed by now if you've watched any of my recipes or anything. So I have really, really simple recipes if you need to get started with any of that. The other thing that I come across a lot in my work doing emotional healing is there's almost always an emotional component. You're going to hear me say that about just about any issue you come across. There will be an underlying emotional component. So something that happens a lot with weight, I had a client recently who said they had been mistreated as a child, and she said, I just figured if I was big, no one would interfere with me. If I was big, it would be like being invisible. I'm just hiding in here under all of this, and I'm just, so there's so much that can happen emotionally, and we use that as a buffer, as a protective layer, as a defense mechanism to hide ourselves behind. And it's really simple, the steps that we can do to heal. If you're Christian, repent for, repair, change, release these emotional burdens that keep you hidden away under excess layers. And I'm not being sizist in any way. We all need to be healthy, and I 100% know that you can be very slim and equally as unhealthy. So it is not about that at all. It is about being your healthy, natural, beautiful self, whatever that is. As long as you are doing the healing work to be your best emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever that is, you are who you are. But we need to make sure we're not avoiding doing the work on any of those levels, that we can all function at our best and go forward with our purpose and what we were called here to do. And we need to be able to be free of this other baggage and stuff, to really be clear on hearing the spirit, to be clear and connected to our path and our purpose, and that still small voice that guides us. I really hope that this helps you just start to think about some of these things. I promise you 99.99% of the time there's going to be emotional work to do. So please reach out if you need some help with that. It is so powerful and so rewarding to help people to just be happier and more peaceful and centered in themselves. That's where you come to that point where you're just so much happier in your own skin, because you know who you are and you're more connected to that, and you love that inner child more perfectly, and we've let go of the fears and the negative beliefs that were picked up through our early experiences in life. So I hope that gives you a little bit to think about. Please, if I can help at all, reach out. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your success stories, what worked for you. If you have had experiences like this, something that, you never would have thought of, and then you changed it and suddenly everything was different. So please, I would love to hear from you. Get in touch. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's facebook.com/GenWellGlobal, Generation Wellness Global. And I also have website, genwell.com.au. So I look forward to seeing you on there sometime, hearing your comments and feedback. I would love to hear from you. Take care, guys.